Okay, so over the course of the year, we have been studying linear, quadratic, and exponential functions. Throughout that process, we have worked to help you see that linear, quadratic, and exponential functions, not only are they just a thing themselves, but they also apply in many other scenarios. So today we are going to spend some time reviewing sequences that we looked at earlier in the year. So these formulas are directly from your formula sheet for the EOC. Arithmetic and geometric sequence formulas. So now that we spent more time studying linear, quadratic, and exponential functions, hopefully this will help you see the relationship between those even better. So, arithmetic sequences. Does anybody remember what an arithmetic sequence is? So if you don't remember, let's take a look at the formulas for arithmetic sequences. So the recursive formula is a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus d. What does that mean? Exactly. It means that you're adding the same number every time. Out of the functions that we have studied, which type of function adds the same number every time? Linear. That's exactly right. What do we call that number that we're adding every time? Slope. So the common difference of an arithmetic sequence is like the slope of a linear function. Okay. So, arithmetic sequence is a sequence that has a common difference. Arithmetic sequence is a sequence that has a common difference. Now, let's take a look at geometric. The recursive formula for a geometric sequence says that a sub n equals r times a sub n minus 1. What does that mean? That means that we are multiplying by the same number each time to get to the next number. What type of function have we studied that is defined by multiplying over and over again to get to the next place on the function? Exponential, that's exactly right. So, geometric sequences are defined by a common ratio. So, an arithmetic sequence is like a linear function, and a geometric sequence is like an exponential function. Okay, So let's take a look at a couple of examples. Suppose I give you a table where we have x and y related. When x is 0, y is 10. When x is 1, y is 20. When x is 2, 30. When x is 3, y is 40. So we want to think about, does this have a common difference? Does it have a common ratio, or does it have something different? So look at how the y values are changing. How do we get from 10 to 20? 20 to 30? And 30 to 40? So our first difference is a constant. That is how we learn to identify a linear function from a table. So this is a linear function. The corresponding arithmetic sequence would be 10, 20, 30, 40, ellipses. Okay. So I hope that you see the connection between the linear function and the arithmetic sequence. So what is the recursive formula? So again, looking back at the formula from your formula sheet, a sub n minus 1 plus that common difference of 10. And then we have our explicit function. The word explicit means to make obvious. So we have our formula, a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d, where a sub 1 is that first number. So a sub n equals a sub 1, which in this case is 10, plus n minus 1 times that common difference, which is also 10. Okay, so let's look at another example. $40, $200, $1,000, $5,000, ellipsis. So let's look at the first difference. How do we get from 400 to 200? We add 160. How do we get from 200 to 1,000? We add 800. So, since we are not adding the same amount every time, we know that this is not an arithmetic sequence. So, we want to think about geometric. So, here we added 160, and then we added 800, and then we add 4,000. Is there any way to get from 160 to 800? Times 5. And then 800 times 5 is 4,000. So the first difference is being multiplied by a common ratio of 5. So this is geometric. So a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 times the common ratio, which is 5. That is the recursive formula. So the recursive formula is showing we're just times 5. Now the explicit. A sub n equals a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1 powered. That gives us the explicit formula. So let's look at one more example. 5, -8, -42, -121, -5,328, ellipsis. So how do we get from 5 to -8? Subtract 13, very good. How do we get from -42? Or -8 to -42? Subtract 34, very good. How do we get from -42 to -121? Down 79. How do we get from -121 to -5,328? We go down 5,207. Okay, so what is the pattern? Well, do we add or subtract the same amount? So it is not arithmetic. Now, let's see if it's geometric. If we multiply by the same number every time, do we move from -13 to -34 to -79 to -5,207? No. So we would say this is neither arithmetic nor geometric.